Welcome to First Maryland Disability Trust YouTube channel. We're here to help you navigate disability planning and benefits, and this channel is strictly for educational purposes. First Maryland Disability Trust is a pooled and standalone trustee, and we are standing by to assist you with whatever your beneficiary needs. Please consider subscribing and joining the First Maryland Disability community. Leave comments to request topics or provide any feedback you have, and share with others who need this information. Today, we're going to do a deeper dive into working when you're collecting supplemental security income. This is going to be an advanced planning topic. So if you're relatively new to this idea or supplemental security income in general, you may want to go look at some of our other videos before diving into this one. Employment is often a goal for people receiving services and getting supplemental security income. But one of the biggest fears people have is if we start working, what is going to happen to our SSI? And it's understandable. That money could be all that they have in the world. And it's also where a lot of bad advice circulates. In this video, we're going to explain how working with SSI can happen and why I feel if you're able to do it, it should happen. This is a general education information, not legal or financial advice. Some background on SSI, if you're not familiar. It is a means-tested federal benefit. In 2026, the maximum amount you can get from the federal government is $984 per month. Means tested means that Social Security is going to look at both your income, earned and unearned, as well as your resources to determine your eligibility and how much you will be paid. When someone is working, those earnings must be reported. But here's a key point. Working does not automatically mean your supplemental security income is going to stop. There are some exclusions. There's a $65 exclusion on all earned income. And there's a $20 exclusion on income that is either earned or unearned. So if you're working and earning a paycheck, the first $85 will be ignored. There's also going to be exclusions for students. Again, there's a lot to look into and understand about this, so it's not going to be covered in this one video. There'll be additional videos covering this topic. There's some common planning mistakes people make, and I see it all too often, and I don't think it's intentional. They can forget to report their income, or they'll think that they have. Social Security does or has in the past allowed people to report this via an app. You're still responsible to make sure that Social Security gets the information, even if the technology isn't working. So you really have to make sure that the report has been received and acknowledged. If somebody stops working or starts working more hours, you have to report that. Any kind of change in work status. And I'm saying this for you, the listener, who may not be the person collecting SSI, because if you are their representative payee, you are responsible for making sure this stuff gets reported. If you ignore impairment-related work expenses, that could cause you to have a reduction in your SSI. You can't just say that your expenses are impairment-related. You have to have them approved by Social Security. But once they're approved, it can really help. You don't want to let your earnings sit in your bank account. Social Security SSI, Social Security's SSI has a maximum asset limit of $2,000. So if there's more than $2,000 in the bank, your SSI is going to be stopped. You really have to make sure that you're moving it either into an ABLE account or a first-party special needs trust. Don't confuse SSI with Disabled Adult Child Benefit. Disabled Adult Child Benefit is going to be paid as Social Security Disability Insurance and will typically not be paid on the first of the month. So that is one way of seeing, are you getting DAC or SSI? SSDI does have a requirement for earnings, but unlike SSI, it is not going to be reduced by how much you earn. There's going to be a flat threshold that I'm not going to go into in this video. I will go into future videos, but there's a flat threshold that you have to be careful and not exceed. And don't just assume that the Social Security Administration is going to catch and fix mistakes. If you see something, say something, especially if it's an overpayment. Do not spend that money. If you get an overpayment, set the money aside because Social Security will eventually come for it. And you've got to make sure you give it back to them. Coordination is important. It really needs to be a team effort between the family, the individual, any support team that they have, the employer, the representative payee, and the trustee. When everyone understands their role, employment becomes a really great opportunity, not a risk. Employment and SSI can coexist. It doesn't happen by accident. In future videos, we'll do a deeper dive into how trusts fit into this picture and what they cannot do. Thanks for watching. If you have questions or topics that you would like covered, please email info@firstmdtrust.org.